Hi, I'm Willie with H5 Technology. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Tonight what we're going to talk about is running a DNS server, or kind of running a DNS server on an edge router. So there might be several reasons why you don't want to set up a full-blown DNS server. And maybe you just need to do a couple things internally. You've got a cloud key, or you've got a simple web server, or you don't have something like a Synology, or you don't have a Linux box, and you need to do some simple DNS things, because it doesn't work just internally. You can also steer your clients to outside the network. So let's take a look at that real quick. What we've got here is we've got our EdgeRouter 4. And you can see we're still on 1.10.1, but you notice this is the lab. And you can see we've got bridge 0 here. I am running bridged, but I'm not pushing that much traffic through this router, so I'm not really seeing too much of a penalty at this point. And then you can see I have the VLAN, which is VLAN 2. And so we need to do a couple things here to make this work the way we want. First thing that we need to do is we need to go over to Services. And we're going to start on the DNS tab. We'll back up to Dhcp. But the first thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that the DNS forwarding, let's make sure that it is listening on the interface that your computer can talk to it on, right? So BR0, since I am in that main, I think I'm in that main, yeah, pretty sure I'm in that main network at this point, which is just under bridge 0. And we can see that it is listening there, so that is perfect. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to our DHCP server, and we're going to go over here to the LAN bridge DHCP pool, and we're going to do view details. And right here, what you're going to do is you're going to hand out, instead of this 66.10, you're going to hand out the edge router as the DNS server. So we'll save that. Then the next thing that you're going to want to make sure that you do is you come over to the System tab, and you want to make sure that we have a name server set here, 1.1.1.1. You should do that so the system can do lookups and things like that. And we just don't want to run into any issues, so we're making sure we've got all of our bases covered to make this work. So make sure you've got a name server here. You can set your system home name. You can set the system domain name there. So you got all of these things taken care of. So what I'm going to do real quick is I am going to open up a command prompt, and I'm going to just do a renew so that it picks up the new settings from the DHCP server. Alright, so a little bit of full disclosure. You see that I grabbed the 70 IP address there. When I thought that I was on the right network, I was actually another layer into the networks here. So I've moved my cable, and I did a renew, and now you can see that I'm on the 192.168.66 network, which is the network that we want to be on. So if we do an NS lookup on h5llc.com, it hits the router, and then the router forwards that request. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take a look at some of the things that we can do now with the edge router. So we're going to go over here to Wizards, and we're going to go to DNS hostnames. And you can see I've got no static hostnames. Now this is where we are going to play some tricks, right? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do Microsoft.com, and we'll just do Microsoft. And if they've got tooltips here, right? Enter a unique host name, and then this is more host names or aliases for that host name that you can put in there. Here we're going to put in this this IP address, and we're going to click apply. And now what should happen is you see that that was saved successfully. So now if I do an NS lookup on Microsoft.com, it hits the EdgeRouter, and the EdgeRouter goes, oh, I have an entry for Microsoft.com. Yes, Microsoft.com is 192.168.66.10, even though we all know that it's not. Now I can do this. I can do this with any domain. So, and we could have multiple aliases in there. So if we wanted to hijack a bunch of things, but more importantly, what we want to do is we want to use it for services internally, web servers or whatever. So what we'll do here is we'll do an NS lookup on google.com, and you can see the router hands it back as 66.10. We do a unify.howx5.com, comes back as 66.10, which is what we want. So now what we're going to do is we're going to flush the DNS. We're going to remove the Microsoft and the Google because we don't own those. Maybe you've found a domain that things are being sent to and you don't want things sent to it. You've done a packet capture and you want to block that, then you could just take control of the DNS at the router. But for this, I actually want to use this legitimately. I have a Unify server, and so let's open this guy up. So you can see my certificate has expired, but I can add an exception. Now I didn't specify any port or anything like that. We can do that. And so now you get we get the green padlock because there is a valid certificate there. A couple of things to note: that this is only going to do names. This is not going to do any kind of special DNS records. This is not going to do SFP records. It's not going to do MX records here. Could you load on a powerful enough EdgeRouter, a full-blown DNS server? Sure, but it's the router, and this works pretty good for what we want to do with it. So that is it. It's really simple, and I actually use this quite often when I have people who want to do a guest Wi-Fi portal inside their network, and they have a fully qualified domain name, but they don't want to expose it to the world, and they don't want to do DNS on a Synology, they don't want to do it on a Linux server. We just use the EdgeRouter. We also use USGs to do this as well. So that's it. Get in there, try it out. Don't be afraid. You saw how easy it was. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please share and comment. Also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. If you need network consulting for general networking, voice over IP, security, best practice design, you can reach out at h5llc.com. Go fill out the contact form and somebody will reach you as soon as possible. We also have a Discord channel that's down there. Feel free to come on over and interact with us. Charlie's our admin. He does a great job. We also have an Amazon shop down there that you can purchase all of the gear that you see us use here on the channel. And as always, I do appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next video.